Welcome to Dolce Bella Crochet. This is Deb, your host, and today I wanted to come on here and just give everybody an idea of some of the things that I am working on in my crochet journey. So this summer's been very busy for me. It's also been a summer of starting some new projects, trying to get some old projects done, still kind of working on that. I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people, I don't like to have a ton of WIPs, works in progress, going on all at the same time. So I try to keep it to a minimum. What I've done is I found this unit, this drawer unit behind me. I found it at Hobby Lobby, a year ago, maybe, I don't remember. But it has 9 drawers, and I thought, oh, this is perfect. I like to sit in my upstairs living area and watch TV and crochet. It's kind of a relaxing area for me. So I'm like, this would be great to put in there to have those WIPs. And I thought, oh, if I just have this, then I can keep it to 9. A lot of people have a lot more WIPs going on. That's great. Do you like doing that? Go for it. For me, it's a little more overwhelming. So today I'm going to show you my WIPs that I have going on. Now, if this is the kind of video you like to watch, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. This is something new for me to try, so I really would like to see some feedback on your thoughts about the video. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about my WIPs. Okay, I'm going to start with this WIP right here. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, this WIP I started years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago. And so the WIP itself is made out of an older yarn. It's called Bernay Baby Coordinates. And I have several colors. I have white, blue, yellow, kind of a green color, pink. Like I said, there's lots of different colors with it. So what I'm doing is I'm using the white as my base color and then all the other colors as accent colors. Again, I started this years ago, and I actually was further than what I am now, but the blue color that I had put on there was not turning out right. So I'm like, okay, I've got to frog it and try to figure it out. And so I did. But as you can see, I've done single crochet rows of white with the pink is in the middle, is kind of it's a puff stitch of sorts, or bobble stitch, but I think it's more of a puff. The pattern is in a book. I have several crochet pattern books, and then alternating the rows of white with a colored row of the puff stitch. Now, again, I started this several years ago. I'm thinking I was using a size G hook. I can find the pattern and figure that out. But I still want to make it, and I actually might just frog everything I've got done here and start completely over so that I can have the right tension, have more of the current tension, because I started it so long ago. I don't know if my tension's going to be the same. Again, this is an older one. I really want to do it, but I do remember the yarn was a little more tricky to work. It would want to catch, and you can kind of see it can come apart, and so my hook would get kind of stuck. So I may go up to a slightly bigger hook just so I can have my tension's a little bit looser. But that's my oldest WIP that I have, and I'll have to go and find the pattern because I'm not exactly sure which pattern it is. Again, it might be one of those I just completely frog out before I get back to it. But it is one of my oldest WIPs. So that's the first one. The second WIP is his baby blanket right here. Again, I started it a couple of years ago. As you can tell, it's a very intricate stitch. It's a repeat of 3 different rows, each row being a different color. And I've chosen the colors pink, blue, and ivory. And the colors I actually I was inspired by a baby decor that I found in Hobby Lobby. And yes, they still have that baby decor, which is kind of surprising. Big navy blue and pink flowers that would go on the wall. So that's what inspired me with the color combination. It is a Hobby Lobby yarn. It's called Soft and Sleek by Yarn Bee. That's a worsted weight yarn, so it's a little bit thicker. It's a good yarn for beginners. But this pattern, I would not call a beginner pattern. I will link the video that I found where I found this pattern. I will link the video in the comments or in the description below. But understand that this pattern video, she explains each step through the pattern as she's crocheting, but it's not in English and it's not in US terms. So I was able to sit and watch the video and write down the steps and the stitches in US terms on a piece of paper that I've written for myself. So again, the video for this is linked in the description below, but understand it is not in US terms. I do not have any foreign language behind me. I was just able to watch the video and write down what was happening, counting her stitches and knowing what the stitch was. So I think it's in German, but I'm not 100% sure. Again, I have no foreign language behind me, so I was just able to watch her video and watch the steps. So this is going to be one of my first ones that I get back to because I really think it's turning out really cool. This WIP is one that I started this summer, and I actually started it, as you can see by the colors, I actually started it as a 4th of July kind of summer patriotic. When again, I didn't get very far. And now the reason I didn't get very far on this is because I ended up making some fairly large prayer shawls that needed to be completed ASAP and passed on to the recipients. Oh, there's Lollipop. That's my friend. That's my little dog. She loves to be close by. Anyway, so this one is made from a spider stitch, and you can kind of see it's a really pretty stitch. It's simple. It's single crochets and chains. I will link the spider stitch video tutorial, stitch tutorial in the description below. But this particular one is it's like a modified one. Instead of just having 2 single crochets in one stitch, it's a single crochet, a chain, and a single crochet. So it's a type of V-stitch, but that chain space between the 2 single crochets really makes it easier to find where you're going to put your next spider stitch. So my intent is to take this and make wide rows of each color and alternate the colors. And when I get finished with that, then I am going to put a border of some sort around it. I haven't exactly decided. So this is a pattern that I'm kind of creating, that I'm making on my own. So watch closely. This pattern's going to end up, it'll be on my website, which is also linked in the description below. So be watching for that. But it was one that I started this summer, and I had to put it off to the side because I needed to make these fairly large prayer shawls. And by the time I got the prayer shawls done, it was past 4th of July, and I was disappointed I didn't get it done, but I'm like, I need to get back at it and get it done. And I'm still going to publish the pattern when I get it completed. This next one is another one that I have had going for quite some time. I started it a year ago, and actually, according to the pattern, it's finished. I did the correct number. I did the same number of foundation chains, and then I did the correct number of rows. But when I got it done, I was like, I was hoping to have more of a full-size Afghan. Something more like 50 by 60, 50 by 65, and it's just not that long. It's about the same, it's about the correct width, but it's not as long as I was wanting it. So I want to make it's more of like a lap gown, you know, something. I mean, it's big enough to throw over your lap or wrap around your shoulders, but it's not something that you can kind of like stretch out and cover up with. So I was wanting it to be a little bit bigger. So I've got some leftover yarn. I'm going to go ahead and just make it as big as I can make it. Now, as you can see, it's got lots of texture, and it's a 4-row repeat. So And the original pattern, which is by Kim Gutzman, I will link that in the description below as well, is called the Peony Passion Throw. I love the pattern. It's very easy to follow along. It's probably an advanced pattern, maybe an advanced beginner. It's got a 4 or 5 row repeat. And when she did her pattern, she made it all one solid color, which was gorgeous. The solid color was gorgeous, but I was looking for something more that had a variety of colors, or a couple, 3 colors. So that's why I alternated the colors. And anytime I repeated the rows, I changed the color. So, and I think it's turning out really nice. I think I'm using Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek for this. Again, I will link the original pattern in the description below. And it is called the Peony Passion by Kim Gutzman. So I will put this one away. This will be for me. These are my favorite colors. So this is going to be a pattern or a napkin that I'm going to keep for myself. The next one is another one of my newer projects, and it's made out of a cotton, and I believe it's either a Yarn Bee cotton or an I Love This cotton, also from Hobby Lobby. I've got a variety of colors. I've got 4 different colors, and I've made 5 sets of coasters. They're coasters. I'm gonna turn it around. This will be the front, and they're in the shape of a cat's head. So we got the tiny little ears here. So what I'm gonna do to finish this off, I need to top stitch the face, like a nose and whiskers, maybe a mouth. I'm not exactly sure. I might just do the whiskers and the nose. And then with that, I have made some bows. And my bows just got the extra strings because I got to get those finished. So there's the bows. I'm going to then attach the bows either up by the ear or down here under the mouth. And they're going to be coasters. They're cat coasters. I will link the pattern to this in the description below. It's really pretty easy. Again, I have like 5 sets already made of the coaster, but I only have 1 set of the bows. So I need to finish before I run out of yarn. I need to finish and make sure I have bows, which I know I have plenty, for all 5 sets. And then I can go back and maybe I can get a 6th or a 7th set out of it. I'm hoping just 6. And then I can finish it up. So this is another project that I started this summer. It is almost finished. I'm getting close. I just need to go back and finish it off. So again, the pattern will be linked in the description down below. The next one that I have is a project that I started not too long ago. And it's made out of Lion Brand homespun stripes, homespun stripes, and this color wheel or color cake is called Circus. Now, I had originally ordered a mystery box from Mary Maxim, and in that I received 2 of these cakes of the homespun. And I kind of held on to them for a while, not knowing exactly what I was going to do. There's 185 yards in each of those cakes. So I was like, it's not a lot, but I was like, wonder what I could make out of it. Well, I decided to make a triangular shawl, and I tried to come up with a stitch that was not a yarn eater, because I knew I only had so much yarn. So I chose a double crochet V stitch for my triangular shawl. And this is how far I got with 2 cakes. And I thought, it's really not quite big enough. It's not as big as I would have liked it. So I was like, well, I'll just go see if I can find 2 more cakes or another cake. And I looked everywhere that carries, that I have around here. Michael's, Joann's, Walmart carries some Lion Brand. I thought, I'll see if I can find it. I couldn't find it. So I finally went on Mary Maxim and I decided to order 2 more cakes. Now, knowing when you order something online and knowing when you have to go back and get more yarn, that sometimes the dye lots are not the same, I knew that was a possibility. But I thought, well, I'll try it. And it was clearance out. It was on sale. So I thought, well, it's not that big of a problem. So I did. Well, as you can see, if you look especially at the yellow and the red, you can see the colors are not near as vibrant. I'll try to pull a little bit out. You can see that, like the yellow, it's not near as vibrant. And I tried it. I started one of the cakes on, tried to add some more to it, and it was just enough different that I didn't like it. So I decided I was just gonna stop. It's big enough for a small shawl, or maybe even a scarf type shawl. I would have liked to have it a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish it off as it is and weave in the ends and you know, call it a nice size, you know, a small scarf or a small shawl. Large scarf, small shawl. And then what I'm going to do with the other two cakes that I bought is I'm going to go ahead, whoops, my wrapper fell off. I'm going to go ahead and make another one just like this. Or I might make it into some hats, but I think the color changes are too far apart for a hat. I'm not sure it's going to work that way. So I will use the other for a scarf or for a shawl and use it up. It'll be the same pattern if I do a shawl. But I need this is not going to take me very long to make. It's a very very beginner friendly pattern. I will link the pattern to this in the description below, so you can have that. Again, this is a beginner friendly pattern. Or the last project that I have going, it was another one of those patterns or projects where I had gone to Walmart. I had found these colors. It's a Lion brand kaboo, and the colors are lichen, white, and steel blue. Anyway, aren't those gorgeous colors? I just love those colors. And I thought, oh, this will make up really pretty. It's a bamboo cotton, like I said. And I thought those make such a pretty, nice looking dishcloth tea towel set. So that was my intent. So I was like, I'll just get one, no big deal. So that's all I got. And I had found I had learned the wattle stitch and was doing a corner to corner, kind of my first corner to corners. So, and it's got such beautiful drape. Well, as you can see here, I didn't stop at a dishcloth size. I didn't stop at a towel size. I just kind of kept going, and it's ending up being a baby blanket, but it'll make a great baby blanket. It's got great drape. You can see it just drapes real nice. My stripe pattern is random. I'm doing kind of a random stripe pattern. You can see it started out kind of on the darker, then I kind of got lighter, and then it got darker. So I'm gonna do just kind of random stripes. It's a wattle stitch. I will link the wattle stitch video tutorial down below in the description. And this pattern will be coming out shortly, again, on my website. I will be sure to, my website will also be linked down below. Again, it's a corner to corner, and again, I only ordered one of each, and that's as far as I got. So I'll just go back to Walmart. I'll get some more. And of course, Walmart didn't have any. Tried a couple other Walmarts, couldn't find it. I looked at Michael's, couldn't find it. Looked at Joann's. I found, I think, one thing of white. I picked it up. So I ended up having to order more of the Kaboo by Lion brand online. I did find it. I got it in. The colors look really good. The dye lots are close enough that they work. In fact, I'm not seeing any difference in the dye lots, so it is going to work. Unlike my other one where I had to order online, the dye lots were not the same, and it was obviously different. So this is my last project, WIP, that I have going. Again, I really like it. I like the drape. This will be one of the first ones that I finish and get it up so that you have a pattern. So those are my WIPs, and I'm excited. Again, I try not to have too many WIPs going all at once because it overwhelms me to have too many. Other people like to have lots of WIPs. So it's a personal preference. I'd love to see what you have for WIPs, so be sure to let me know in the comments, share a picture of what you have going on for your current WIPs. So until next time, happy crocheting.